Emmanuel Sindaigaya used to consume various illegal drugs, mostly cannabis.
When a person is taking cannabis, they feel like they're on top of the world, like there's music in your head, and a person can no longer think straight. It got to a point that I would walk in the middle of a road while cars were passing by because I felt invincible.
Due to the excess consumption of these illegal drugs, he got sick for 3 months. As he was admitted at a hospital, he was later taken to the Iwawa Rehabilitation Center, where he is currently the head of a corporation called Urukundo that does suing. He went on to advise those that are still using drugs.
My warning to the youth is that cannabis destroys a person's future. So my advice to young people that are using it is to stop and start treating it like an enemy and avoid it at all costs. Nothing good comes out of it.
The increase in drug use, especially cannabis, is said to be due to a variety of factors.
I see people using illegal drugs and I tell them to stop because they damage the brain. It is a result of 3 factors. First, the family that a child is born in, that is not hands-on when it comes to taking care of him or her. Hence, he or she ends up using them. Secondly, you may find that unfortunately a child grows up as an orphan on the streets. And thirdly, a child could fall in both categories with an addition of an influence from a bad peer group that usually uses illegal drugs.
Dr. Arthur Rukundo, a psychiatrist and a doctor at the Carias Ndera Hospital, says that day by day, the number of people with drug addiction is increasing. He also noted that behavior change is one of the symptoms that people can look out for in a drug addict and help him or her early on.
At an early stage, there's a change in a person's behavior. He or she may start becoming rude towards their parents, and they no longer listen to anything that they are told. As the individual continues to use illegal drugs like cannabis, they might find themselves experiencing mental problems. Hence, if they are in school, they start failing, or if they are working, they can no longer perform.
The Rwanda Investigation Bureau says the youth are the most involved in these crimes. The spokesperson of RIB, Dr. Murangira Thierry, urges parents and the youth to work together to fight these crimes because the penalties for these crimes are heavy.
RIB
will not tolerate anyone selling cannabis, cultivating it or giving it to people, and that applies to all illegal drugs because now the surveillance measures we have intensified in collaboration with other agencies. So we urge the youth, because they're the most involved in such activities, to stop. The punishment for such crimes is quite heavy. If you are arrested for drug trafficking, the punishment is life in prison.
In the past 2 years, 12,492 people have been prosecuted for illegal drug use and distribution, of which 10,739 are males and 1,753 are females, according to RIB. Of those arrested by RIB, those between the ages of 18 and 30 are 6,793, while those over 30 years are 5,344, which means that the average age for drug suspects is the youth, which accounts for 57%. RIB says that in the last 2 years, it has seized over 4 tons of cannabis, 26 kanyanga liters, and 5 pounds of heroin.